Hello and welcome to this tutorial where I want to draw or slash paint a face on the gray Clairefontaine watercolor paper, and I want to draw this face with the unconventional colors. Now what we see here is a girl, and maybe she is standing in the discotheque or something, or well, maybe other kinds of light or painted windows or something. But anyway, she has all kinds of colors in her face, and I've had some questions about how to paint skin colors, but the reflected light, as you can see here, can change the color of the face, and I wanted to study this. I think that's rather nice. I have a nice reference picture here of a girl standing in those great lights, and I'm just imagining this girl standing in the discotheque, and she's out for a dance. So let's get started. What I do first is I draw the face, and by the way, should you want to see the whole process in real time, you can find me on my Patreon page where I record everything live, so in real time I should say. So then you can draw along with me in real time. For this setup, I'm simply using a charcoal pencil, and I first head out by pointing out where the eyes will come and where the nose will come and the mouth. And in this way, I'm well, just drawing by freehand, and this face doesn't have to be so exactly like the reference picture. I'm just eyeballing it and just trying to make some kind of a face out of it, and it doesn't have to look like the girl. What I am interested in here is those strokes of colored light that are hitting her face, and I want to paint those. But in order to start painting, I will first have to start sketching a little bit. So that's why I'm using the charcoal pencil, just to well, figure out how the face and how the lights are moving over the surface of the face. And I can see the cheekbones, and I can see the roundness of the lips and the tip of the nose, and well, you can see the separate kind of colors. So I've drawn black lines around them, and there's well, a lot of stuff going on in that face. And then I simply rub everything in with a paper towel. So in that way I get rid of the most of the charcoal pigments, and then I take out a fine liner, and I simply start tracing my sketch lines that I put up, and well, just follow them, just tracking them, my own lines here. And she has a beautiful mouth, and there's a strange blue light coming from her mouth, and she has those huge nice big eyes, so that's really fun. And then once I've drawn in the lines with the fine liner, I simply rub out a little bit extra of the charcoal with the eraser, and I can see some stripes here from her sweater or something. Well, I think this is a nice composition. So then next I will start with my watercolor, and I have well, simply watercolor pigments, and then I combine those with the with the white gouache. So I do not have all kinds of color of gouache. I simply use my my watercolor pigments and combine them, just mix them with the white gouache. And the color of the paper, of course, is gray. So I hope that will bring us some kind of nice effect. We'll just see. Never tried it before, and I'm just freewheeling here and trying to figure out how to capture those great beams of colored light. And you can see I have a lot of help by the lines that I've drawn in for those strokes of light. I can just start coloring them in, and it's very odd looking because there's no skin color at all here. I'm using pink colors, yellow colors, slightly blue, greenish, red-ish, all kinds of colors that I see in the reference picture. And the picture itself, oh, this is a bit of orange. And the picture itself I placed in front of me. So I have a nice view of what to paint and how to blend the colors together. So here you can see the forehead, and she's starting to look a little bit like an Indian or something, but I still like it. I just want to see if I can get that nice effect. And at this point, well, I think it's looking quite ugly, but you will be amazed because for some kind of reason, those colors, if you just keep blending and taking a close look at the reference picture and just keep blending, then all of a sudden some kind of a face will appear, and it should become convincing, even though the colors are not conventional at all. And the brush I'm using is by Da Vinci. It's a very nice fine brush, and I can use a tip of the white gouache just for the inside of the whites of the eye. And I like this brush a lot because it ends in a fine tip, and you can just well, use it for the corners of the eyes, but also for the bigger strokes in the hair, for instance. So keep that in mind. The watercolor brush by Da Vinci is a real nice tool. Now here you can see that I'm putting in layers, and you can just go over the white gouache and then put in some layers, and that is especially very nice. So you can see the orange and the blues that are reflected into the hair. And here you can see the tip of my brush again in action, and I'm using the Pines Gray, which is a very, very dark gray, for the eyelashes and the inside of the mouth. Here underneath the chin there's a dark shadow there too. Here's a little bit more of the light hitting the ridge of the nose and the tip of the nose. And then here on the side, left side, there's a very dark area. Now what is also very nice are the Faber-Castell brush pens. And with the brush pens you have somewhat more of control. And you can just go over the gouache again with that brush pen and I simply use it a little bit to blend the paint together. So that's also very nice. Just take some strokes there, or you can also use a Tombow, which is also water-based. It's a water-based brush pen, and the water-based brush pens are ideal with watercolor paint and gouache paint. You can just put them together. They're like brother and sister, and you can just get into somewhat more detail, or some strokes of the hair, or maybe you want some shiny effects or something. Just put that in, and I'm just demonstrating here how nice it is to have those tools all working together. Now here's a very dark shadow, then here is the inside of the left nose. Okay, well, I can see in my reference picture some strokes of light going through her hair, and I simply rub it in with the finger. So just don't be scared to touch the gouache paint and use it for the hair effects. Or if you want to ease down some of the black lines, you can just put over it a little bit of the white gouache. It's a very nice cover-up tool. So now here in the inside there's some light. I'm now looking for the highlights. I want to get them in the right spot, of course. And as you can see, you can just keep blending. Here's a little bit of a shadow. So I just put in layers over each other, and I'll just keep blending until I'm happy with the effect. A little bit of yellow, and well, just let it dry there for a little bit, and then I put back in the black lines here with the adding pen. It's just a black marker, and I want to put in those dark areas. I think they're very dynamic to see. So this is my effort. Hope you enjoyed it, maybe give you some inspiration. And should you want to see the whole process, just find me on my Patreon page. You're very welcome there, indeed. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Take care.